Hello and welcome everybody back to another FIA race. This is of course the Exhibition Series Season 1 Round 8 in the N400 cars from Interlagos. I'm going to be in the Porsche 911 GT3 RS, and this is the first video I have made, or the first piece of content in quite a while. I have been very sick, very ill over the last week or so since the it's Saturday as I record this, so Saturday night as this race is on. And it was Saturday last weekend that I actually came down with something really quite nasty, a very nasty infection, a chest infection, and it's put me totally out of action. And this is my first crack. You can still hear I'm quite nasally. I'm still very blocked up. I've got a bit of a cough, so I'm going to try my hardest not to do that during the race. But I thought I would jump in and have a bit of a crack at this FIA race. I am not, to be honest, I'm not thinking I'm going to do all that well. I've actually had a couple of people drop out there. I think 3 people dropped out on the load up into this warm-up section. And it looks like old Barnstonesworth has just dropped out as well. So we're down to 16, but you can see super tough field there. We've got Nick McCosy right at the top. He has already raced tonight because I saw it on another live stream. Got some pretty tough competition there. My pace is just not here. I have no pace whatsoever. I've done only a few, sort of half a dozen or more warm-up laps just to get a feel of the car. So don't expect anything good in terms of results today. But we're going to have a bit of a crack. This is just a way. I probably should realistically be practicing for the Bathurst 1.2 hour coming up tomorrow night, but I'm not. I decided to jump back in and do a race, get something under my belt, just get a bit of action under my belt, see how I went. Because I've got a lot on tomorrow night, so we will see how we go. But for now, I'm just going to wait for the majority of the people in the pits to roll out, which it looks like they are doing. I might go and pick up the back of the train here soon. Still someone behind me in the pits, so I think I've waited long enough. We'll get out in front of them, especially because I'm not exactly going to be putting it on pole position here. In fact, my goal is to stay off the bottom. Again, I really have limited pace. No idea why the auto drive did select second gear then, but anyway, we'll just pump down pit lane in first gear. It's all good. Yeah, I have very low hopes, very low standards for this. Hopefully you guys do enjoy it anyway, even if the results aren't there today. I'm hoping. It certainly feels good for me just to be back, just to be making a bit more content on my channel for the first time. Blow the cobwebs off. I should probably not push too hard on this lap and take too big a chunk out of my back tyres. I certainly got a lot of free track, so that's alright. Qualifying lap 1. How do I go? And I've overshot turn 1. I've cocked that up. Okay, so the whole first chicane section was an absolute shocker. Well, let's just get this done, and we'll see how we go. Way too much overs here in the exit there. Try and keep it together, hold it flat as much as I can through here and into that final crucial last turn. Not holding out a lot of hope. I think I just really need to get around this lap. Pit for a fresh set of tyres, don't take on any fuel. So whilst I'm not too concerned how I go here, I am just wanting to push as fast as I can. And 143.6 is awful. Even amongst the practice laps I was doing, that is much slower. Now I have found myself on a nice empty beauty track again, which is nice. Still 7th, which is strange, but again, a lot of people yet to finish laps, so we won't worry too much about that, because I reckon that's going to be more like 12th or 13th by the time people have finished a hot lap. But here we go again. Not necessarily the best run onto the front straight, but I've had worse. Important not to try and hit the curb here if you can help it, because you do actually lose time coming up that hill if you run over the curb. Bit of a cut there, sweep out wide, right. The all important turn 1. Oh, I've cocked it. I actually got the entry into turn 1. I braked a bit early, which threw me off, but then I got around the corner safe enough, got back on the throttle way too early, and the back just stepped out, so kiss this lap goodbye, but I'll push on anyway. Alrighty, let's have one more throw at the dice. I should get across the line in time to start another flying lap. Tyres are a little bit damaged, or worn, but fuel is a little bit more burnt, so let's just have another stab and see what I can do. Okay, better through the first sector, but I've got to put the whole lap together yet. Stay in third, try not to get on the throttle too early and spin it all up. The run out of there is pretty crucial as well. Way too much spin then under the brakes. Wheel spin, that is. And I've done it again, but we'll try and use it to square the corner off. See if we can salvage anything out of what has been a disastrous qualifying session. And hard on the throttle, here we go. I haven't even dared look at my sector times, but I did obviously notice that each sector was up, probably not by much, but geez, I'd just love to drop it in too. 42s if I can. 42, 6, there we go, back to 5th. So that's more like the time I thought I could do, and I tell you what, 5th position is not as bad as I thought that was going to be. Not half disappointed with that at all, that's alright. Okay, and it is race time in just 6 seconds. I've got absolutely no idea what it's like to drive this thing with tyre wear. I've got no idea how many laps I can expect to get out of them or how often I should pit stop. I'm doing this entirely blind for the first time, so let's wait and see. I did watch a little bit of a live stream earlier to get some hints and tips, but I was only able to watch a bit of qualifying in the start of the race, so I have no idea about pit strategies, which was the one thing I really did want to learn, but that's okay. Sometimes the best way to learn is by doing. And that's precisely what I'm going to do here. Okay, so as we work through the field, you can see I've got Mint GTR, very handy 141.2. That's a fantastic lap. In fact, better than Nick McCosey, 141.4. And this is not his first race of the evening. Matthew McEwen, 142.1, first into the 42s, big gap there. And I've managed to get into 4th, so someone has dropped out because I was, of course, 5th with a 42.6, back to a 42.7. So it looks like other than the top 2, which were in a little bit of a league of their own, there's another 42.7. So she's pretty close here, just back from the front, and then we're back to the 43s. Even a 43.1 for GT Rider, there's not too bad. The Ferrari, he'll be one to watch ProSim, because that car is going to be a lot better on tyres than the Porsche itself. But other than the front two, who look to be in a world and a league of their own with a much faster lap time than everyone else has managed, the rest of the field is actually pretty quick. I'm in 4th position, and we go all the way back to 12th position, all covered by a single second. So it's going to be tough. And then, of course, Shelby Copper back with a 145. That's the first of the sort of slower times, I suppose. But there might be a bit of a pack at the back. Nonetheless, I feel like I'm at the front of the rest of them, pretty much, in 4th position. Maybe Matthew McEwen there as well. So obviously the goal is here just to keep it clean, run my race, and I'm pretty much going to have to borrow the pit strategy of the person around me. I said top 10 was what I was aiming for. I'm obviously starting much higher than that, so we're just going to have to see how we go. Hopefully there's no turn one dive bombs. And it is go time. Lights out, away we go. Bouncing off the limiter in first gear, which is exactly what you want to see. Nice and easy into turn one. No funky business. A bit of a short shift there into third. Try and get my run right here, because this is where you'll get swallowed up on the opening lap. A little bit of a gap there to Fishman. I actually come in there a bit hot. I'm very sideways. Managed to hang on to it. Nice and gentle. The whole first lap does feel pretty gentle so far. Haven't seen much arge and barge around at all. Those first two are already, they're going to have a cracking battle, I can tell already. I was really hoping to try and just stick with Matthew McEwen if I can. Again, this corner's so vital on lap one when everyone is around you. Excuse me, you want to get the best run you can. Apologies for the cough there. It may happen a little bit, because I am still a bit unwell. But the plan was to try and run with Matthew McEwen if I can. But he looks like he's not too far away from the front too. And he's pulled a good 1.2 seconds on me already. Oh, a little bit of contact coming in from the rear. And it looks like the front two have got into a bit of live action as well, because they've dropped back into the hands of Matthew. He's just having a bit of a look at old Nick McCossie. Our mate behind me is a little bit too feisty for my liking. He obviously doesn't mind throwing his weight around. My goal at the moment is very much just to keep clean. He looks, GTR Freak here looks a little bit more interested in doing what he can early on in the race. So I have to keep an eye on that radar and avoid any sort of last minute dive bombs and such that may be coming my way. Staying a little bit more bunched up than I thought it might. It looks like the front two are having a fair scrap, which is just keeping him back in the hands of Matthew and myself to a degree as well. Like, I am a little bit back off them. So this is where our mate behind me. That's still more contact by him. He should probably really stop running into me at this point. I'm just going to continue to get SR down arrows. He needs to show a bit more patience. If the overtake's not on, there's no point in shoving it up the inside, mate. And he couldn't help himself. There he goes. And the problem is, it's the only section of the track he's actually faster than me. because the rest of the track I kind of pull away from him. So I've lost a big chunk of time there, but honestly, I was getting pretty sick of him running into me. Like, you probably need to learn, GTR freak, a little bit more about how racing works. Just because you might be faster in a particular corner, you can't go through a car. You've got to... Oh, and he swerves in front of me. Fantastic. So there's my 4-second penalty. This GTR freak absolutely ruining my life at this point. As I swing out left, he sees me coming and dives to the inside, so that's pretty much going to ruin my race at this point. We'll see what happens. Yes, as I drop way back to 9th position there. Not going to pretend I'm happy at GTR freak. He drove like an absolute asshole. And of course I've been on the receiving end of everything. But all I can do now is charge on. I wasn't exactly anticipating this was going to be the most successful race anyway. I don't know why I've gone back into first gear there. I just need to regroup a little bit, compose myself, and try and get back on and deal with what I got to deal with. As I cook it into the final turn. So, a very bad lap. And any real hope of a decent finishing position has now gone. As we tip over the halfway point of the race. Not long to go. Tyre wear's good. Fuel burn's good. But a pit is going to have to happen. But I guess that is one of the advantages of this not being your first race and the only race that you do for the evening course, because you can have like a banker race where you drive decent and get one decent spot, and then you can pretty much just drive like a tool bag for the other two races. Just throw your car around, nudge people out of the way, and if you don't end up going as well, it doesn't matter as much because you've got your banker race there. Can definitely feel a bit of the tyre wear starting to kick in now. Loose into there, and I've picked up myself another penalty. The race is just going from fantastic to even more awesome. And we are back to 10th. Oh, the joys of FIA racing. In fact, I'm starting to ask the question, as we only hit just half a tank of fuel now. I don't think a pit stop is going to be necessary. I think this is going to be a race to the flag. And it's one that I've completely thrown away and will almost certainly hurt my driver rating and safety rating. So yeah, just one of those races, I guess. that you wish you never did. So fairly big pack, they stuck together. I did kind of think that would be the go. Pardon me. See if I can try and catch back up to the pack. See if I can try and pick a few of them off. I've only got 2 more laps to go, so it's unlikely. Got that one wrong. I think I actually got it right, but just panicked. I caught everyone else so fast then. I thought I'd stuffed it up, but whatever it is, it cost myself 4 tenths. Just got to try and get close, because if there's a bit of last lap argy-bargy, I could be the benefactor of somebody else's poor driving. There's old GTR freak up there, so he's working his way back to come and see me again, having been totally displeased with his driving. I should probably wait until after the race and have a look at the replay to see what it was, but it certainly seemed like at the time that, oh, look at him go. Yeah, he's definitely not driving clean. He's just swung out in front of braces there, so I have to call out GTR Freak for being a really average driver. Certainly not driving, because, you know, let's see what happens here, but when I went to go underneath on brakes, he just swung in front, took the rear end impact, didn't really mean to go for the overtake there, but I was had too much momentum to stab the brakes. But I think he's just going to try and block the track now and keep in front of braces and myself. But I'll let braces try and do the hard work. Try and go the overtake. Perhaps he just hurt his tyres. He was throwing the car around an awful lot at the start of the race, so it could just be that he's knackered his tyres a bit. But he's certainly going to make it very difficult to get past. And for me, arguably, it's not even me worth trying to overtake anyone at this point. I've already taken that many hits to my SR and DR. Let's see if he swings across and just blocks our braces again. There's the move out in front of him. Yeah, he would have had no idea if he was going to make contact then or not. Yeah, look at him defend too hard. As we enter the last lap. I'm going to have to try and trick him here. I don't really know how I'm going to get past him without making contact. Bide my time and see if an opportunity presents itself. to roll out of it here and tuck in behind him, but more contact. I just wanted the best drive I could up over there. Unfortunately, there's nothing I could do about it. Nah, I pushed and raced as hard as I could, but unfortunately that was all I could do. So anyway, really disappointing race. I knew that was exactly what was going to happen. Obviously starting out of 4th position, and got caught up with my best friend GTR Freak, so big shout out to that guy. Otherwise, you know, there's a race under the belt. It's good to be back, and we'll see how the Bathurst 1.2 hour goes tomorrow. But anyway, hopefully you did enjoy this video to some degree, and I look forward to talking to you all next time. Remember, if you are new around here, hit that subscribe and of course the bell icon so that you actually get notified when I put up new content. And if you have enjoyed it, leave a like. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all next time. Bye for now.